guys, welcome to the Hefni Guitar channel. Today we're going to start learning our 7th chords as used in jazz in a 2-5-1 progressions. So first and foremost, let's address what is a 2-5-1. If we take a look in the key of C, we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and so on and so forth. So the 2 chord would be the 2nd chord. In this case, it would be D minor. Okay, and when you're talking about jazz chords, they like to use 7th chord, so it's D minor 7. The 5 chord would be G dominant 7, and the 1 chord will be C major 7. Okay, so on the 5th fret, right, we begin with, say, a D minor triad. Okay, to get a D minor 7, all you got to do is lift your pinky, and then you get this. Okay, and that's D minor 7. To play a G7, all we have to do is get this shape, which is the dominant shape. We've already covered this in the 7th chords for rockers. Okay, it's essentially the E triad shape. Okay, on the 4th fret, but then we add our pinky on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Okay, and then C major 7. Again, we've already learned this. Okay, for those of you who are just joining us without going through the rock course. Essentially, it's the C bar chord, but then we're going to move back the 2nd note, right, which is the C note on the G string, the 3rd string. We're going to move it down a half step. Okay, so this gives us C major 7. So essentially a 2-5-1 in C. Alright. So a minor 2-5-1, right? We're going to take a look. Okay, take your 6th chord in the key of C major. In this case would be C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G major 7, and A minor 7. Let A minor 7 function as your 1 chord. Okay, so if A minor 7 is your 1 chord, okay, then the chord after that would be B minor 7 flat 5, right? So that means the 2 of the 2 minor 7 would be B minor 7 flat 5. Okay, then what would be the 5 chord? The 5 chord is actually it's a dominant chord, a perfect 5th up from the target note, which is in this case A minor 7. So it's A, B, C, D, E. It's a E dominant 7. However, we're going to modify this. We're going to alter it. Okay, alter it by making it an E7 flat 9. Okay, so how are we going to learn our 2-5-1s? Okay, let me just demonstrate. Okay, an example of a E minor 7. Okay, sorry, of a minor 2-5-1. E minor 7 flat 5, E7 flat 9, A minor 7. Okay, so you can actually play them like that. Then minor 7. Minor 2-5-1 rather. Okay, but what we're going to do, the basis of the Hefni method of learning chords, right? We're going to try to learn it all within the same area. Okay, and the interesting part that you're going to realize is that the difference between a major 2-5-1 and a minor 2-5-1 is actually 1 note. Okay, let me show you. Beginning with the D minor 7. Okay. Okay, to get B minor 7 flat 5, we just need to change that 1 note, and that 1 note is actually this note, which is the C note. Okay, on the G string, we're going to move that down 1 semitone or half step to B. Okay, but by doing so, we're probably going to have to change the way that we finger the chord. So in this case, this is the voicing for B minor 7 flat 5. Okay, in the same position. Okay, so it's just again change difference of 1 note. So this is B minor 7 flat 5. How do we get to E7 flat 9? Simply move just 1 note here. Okay, our pinky, we're going to move back that way by 1 semitone as well. Okay, so similarly, if we're going to move it back, we probably want to change the way that we finger the chord. So we flip our 3rd and 4th fingers. This is E7 flat 9. Okay, interestingly, E7 flat 9. Okay, an altered 7th chord, right? You take a look at that, it's just like G7, but with our ring finger moving forward by 1 fret. So that makes it a 7th flat 9. Okay. Interesting thing about 7th flat 9 chords, there's same chords in all of your minor 2 5 1s. Okay. So you can just learn the shape once. Okay. So let's get back, okay, to B minor 7 flat 5, E7 flat 9. Okay, now to get to the A minor 7, which is the minor 2 5 1, the 1 in the minor 2 5 1. Okay, all we got to do, okay, we can start with C major. Okay, but this middle note, this held by your ring finger, we're going to move it down a whole step. Okay, so a half step will give us a C7. A whole step will make it, okay, in this case it's like a C6. Okay, we've already learned that sometimes a chord shape can be called by two different names. So C6 is also an A minor 7. Okay, don't worry so much about the theory, just get the shape down first. Okay, so we get, okay, so again, the major 2 5 1. Okay, now the minor 2 5 1. Go back to the same thing, but we just change one note. E7 flat 9, A minor 7. Alright. So, now we have the major 2 5 1, we also have a minor 2 5 1. We're going to learn both major and minor 2 5 1s at the same go, right? How? We're just going to add a pivot chord in between the major 2 5 1 to the minor 2 5 1, and another pivot chord from the minor 2 5 1 to the major 2 5 1, so that we can cycle, we just keep playing it as a loop. Okay, so let's do this. Major 2 5 1, D minor 7, G7, C major 7. Now the pivot chord would be F major 7. Okay, so we're going to be using this chord shape on the 5th fret. So from here we can go back to, okay, now B minor 7 flat 5, okay, E7 flat 9, and A minor 7. That's how we learnt it. Now we're going to add one more chord here, which is A dominant 7. We just need to change one finger, which is again our index finger. We're going to move it up. Now this makes it A7, and then we can loop it all over again. So we can just cycle between the two, and that's how we learn 7th chords in this position. Okay. You can also try to use, okay, instead of the C6 A minor 7 shape, okay, A minor 7 flat 5, 7 flat 9, oops. You can also probably just bar this chord. Okay, this is also A minor 7. Okay, you just plug the 6th string, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. Okay, to get to A7, we just add the index finger onto the 6th fret of the 4th string. Okay, however, this way you're not following the strict drop 2 voicing. Okay, I'll cover that in another video. Right, I'll put the link in the description. Okay, so as much as you can, try to use this voicing. Next lesson, we're going to attempt the next 2-5-1 voicing, right, further up the neck. Okay, there are actually 4 positions on the guitar that you're going to have to learn this. Okay, again, we're still focusing on the middle group of 4 strings. Later on, we'll go to the top strings and then the bottom group of 4 strings. See you next week.